1, 2, 3. Hey
Hi,
guys!
guys!
Welcome to our Q&A session. We put out a post on Facebook, and I mentioned it in the last Homestead video that we wanted you to get to know us better. So ask anything and everything, and we would only answer things we were comfortable with. But you guys didn't get too crazy. One thing I'm not going to be answering in this video is gardening, specific how-to gardening questions. This is more about life and overall. So let's just jump right in.
Okay. Hey, Brian and Emily, how did you two meet and how long did you date before you got married? Love you guys. Oh, love you too. We met at work. We worked together. Brian was my boss.
We worked for Disney. If anybody ever heard of Club Disney, it was back in the 90s, late 90s. That's kind of how I started with Disney and how we started in our relationship.
We worked together 5 years before you finally proposed.
I think the biggest question overall for most people was how we met. So now you know how I proposed.
How did you propose? Yeah. You want to tell them how you proposed? Oh, you were so cute. I'll tell the story because you were so cute.
It didn't go as I thought it up in my head.
Very sweet though. We went to Disneyland with your sister and brother-in-law, and we were walking around the hotel where the gardens are and the gazebo, and ironically they were getting set up for a wedding. So we went and
they had two gazebos. They had like a wedding gazebo and then another gazebo.
Yeah. So we went and we were taking pictures in there, which was kind of weird. We kept taking pictures of each other.
Well, I had the ring. I was ready. My sister and brother-in-law knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. So when it was our turn to have our picture taken in the gazebo, that's when you got down on your knee and she's so cute. He's like, maybe someday people will be coming to our wedding.
Well, we had talked about getting married at Disneyland at the hotel in the gazebo. It was a big rose garden, so it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, yes. So that's how he proposed. We actually have a picture of
we
you
can put it up
proposing,
here
so
if I
maybe
can find
maybe we'll put it up there.
So a lot of these questions were at the bottom of a comment on the video, so we're just going to read the question part.
Yeah. How do you deal with conflict with each other? Ooh, that's a good one.
A lot of violence.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. We call each other stupid sometimes.
Well, sometimes you are stupid.
And sometimes you are too.
We have a lot of conflict probably, and we're with each other 24/7.
Yes, obviously we live together. You know, working together, being together 24 hours a day. There is times with conflict. So we actually had to really work on that early on so that we didn't have a lot of arguments. For us personally, we both get defensive when the other person is saying something that we've done wrong. So we immediately are trying to get defensive and not necessarily listening. So we had to work on our listening skills.
We had therapy.
Yeah, we
Therapy's
did.
always a good thing.
Not ashamed to say we went to therapy so that way we could figure it out. So we had to really learn to listen to each other and hear what the other person was saying instead of automatically getting defensive and thinking about the next comeback. And that really helped a lot. So we were able to kind of talk through when there's an issue. We know how to stop and before anything escalates. I mean, obviously there's times when we do call each other stupid and need a few minutes to
and there's
calm
times when
down
both of us are stupid.
And yeah, but for the most part, yeah.
Next question.
How on earth do you and Emily manage your time to get everything done on your property and still get so many videos out, let alone take care of all the family obligations you have? Do you have help? And if so, how much? We don't have help. It really is just the two of us.
I mean, there's been specific jobs that we've hired people, like trees taking down things, but
yeah, but on a daily basis, we don't have help managing like gardeners or anything like that. It is just us.
It's just who?
It's us. Well,
For
you
gardening.
are taking care of the gardening. I take care of all of the other aspects.
Which I think we get to in a minute.
So yeah, so that's how we manage. We both have our jobs to play.
And this is my full-time job.
How did you get started with YouTube? Previous work experience?
My previous work experience right before or during and before YouTube was I was a web designer. I had my own business. I had redone our backyard at our last house and did a whole tropical theme, and people that I knew that didn't live close by were wondering what it looked like because people were talking about it. And I didn't know how to email large video files. And so I uploaded them to YouTube and then gave friends and family the link. And like a year later, I hadn't thought about it, and I went back and I had like 1,000 views, and I don't know 1,000 people. Or I didn't then, I do now. But then I started seeing gardening videos on YouTube. Previously, I had never even used YouTube much. I thought it was just like, cat videos and stuff. But when I found out about gardening, I thought I could probably do this. And I've got a unique looking backyard, so maybe the two combined, my knowledge of gardening and a cool background, would get people's attention. And it did. And here we are. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So it's been 6 years. We're starting our 7th, I guess.
Yeah. But not really doing it for 7 years.
Yeah.
Has it been?
6 years. It was October 17th of 2017. That's my first real video.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
Yeah, a year before that was the tours and stuff that I did.
Huh. Okay.
It does go by fast.
It does. Next question. Okay. You were not born a garden guru. How did you get your green thumb?
I had a passion for it. I had a competition with my friend. We started with dahlias and we grew them competitively, not only with each other, but in shows. And my garden guru was my sister's piano teacher. She grew dahlias and showed them, and she just had an amazing garden. She was a master gardener. And so I kind of spent as much time as I could at her house, soaking up every bit of knowledge that I could. And then just 30 years of trial and error. That's how you get it.
I love your English thatched barn. Do you know how much it costs to build? Too much.
We really don't know how much it cost to build. It was a year and a half.
He stopped keeping track because it was,
I can tell you that the roof, the thatch, that was what really kind of pushed for the edge. Do I say the number?
$13,000.
$13,000 for the roof. But that was like 80% of the entire cost. So, but when I looked into shingling the roof, it would have been like $11,000. So I think I made the right choice. What do you guys think?
I will say that it is beautiful, and I do love it, and
it brings in views to our channel. So, and it's a write-off.
So we had a budget, and it was an expense. In fact, we were talking about getting another car. Noah's getting ready to drive, and we needed a car. We need a truck or something so that Brian will stop putting lumber in the back of our car. And we actually put that off to be able to get the roof. So we did have to budget for it. My question for both is, when you're not gardening and looking after the homestead, what do you like to do together? Nothing. I'm just kidding. We're so boring.
I would say, we like just Boomer.
Apparently Boomer wants to make an appearance.
I'm tired after a full day of working outside, and so most of the time we just like to relax and watch our favorite shows or whatever. But we do, we'd like to go out to a nice dinner. We like to travel when we can. We took our first big trip in a long time last year to Hawaii, and hopefully, we'll be doing a little bit more of that.
We want to just be mellow on our downtime because we're so busy between being here and filming.
And we enjoy being here.
Noah has, he's at the age, he's got sports and activities, but he's not, he doesn't have his license yet. He's not 16 yet. So there's a lot of, I Uber him a lot all around town.
Question 1, this is a next level gardening question. Will you do a video on growing jicama? Probably not. I don't like jicama.
Brian's not a big jicama fan.
Do you like it?
I do.
It's a root, right? I think it's a root.
Yeah, I do. I'll put it in salads and stuff. I don't really go around.
I have no idea how it grows or anything. You probably won't see a video on that.
You never know. Never say never. You mentioned you don't do a lot of canning yet, but do you guys do any kind of long-term food storage?
We freeze a lot. We've got, we just bought a new freezer that's just a standalone freezer, and then we've got the freezer in the house, and we've got another freezer in the garage. So 3 freezers. Freeze drying, we've been doing that. I really would like to get a dehydrator, and then we're working on canning.
Yeah.
And that's a big goal this year, is to really up our game with that.
Yes. Do you do anything like tinctures or any other kind of homeopathic remedies? I'm actually starting to look into doing that. I think that that's really interesting. And
I'm going to be putting in a medicinal herb garden in the cottage garden.
Yeah, so stay tuned because I'm looking into that kind of stuff. Are you planning to take Bella for dog training? Are you planning to take care of her grooming yourself or take her to a groomer from time to time? Despite her magical fur, everyone needs a bath and claws trimming. Yes. Go ahead and you can do the
well, we're not doing training. No. I mean, we've been doing our own training. She doesn't need a lot of training. Her breed comes built in with the instinct to do what she needs to do. And honestly, these type of dogs, they're not readily trained like normal other dogs. They feel like they've got the instinct. They know what to do. Stay out of their way.
Yeah. And as I know, our breeder, Bella's breeder is actually really awesome. And whenever we've had questions about different things, she's really great about answering them and letting us know if this is something normal because she's a puppy, or how to guide her in the right direction with different things. So that's been really helpful. Yes, we will take her to the groomers once in a while. For the most part, a good brushing and stuff we can take care of on our own. But yeah, we are planning to do a groomer once in a while, so she can get a good, yeah, so she can get.
The breeder doesn't groom hers at all. I mean, and we went. They didn't smell. They were clean, so there was no tangles. So they do have magic fur, and it's going to be very minimal, whatever kind of actual grooming she needs.
Yeah. You said that all but one family member is down here now. Did you move down this way because someone was down here, or did you pick it separately? What made you move down south?
Well, first of all, the first 2 or 3 videos on this channel, if you go back, were kind of our whole journey of finding a house down here and all that. But
your sister moved down here and we were visiting and started looking around because we really liked the area. We'd never checked this out before, and we were really happy with what we were finding out here. As far as the other family members, they all followed, which is really awesome, but just really surprising. One by one, they are all following us down here, which has been really...
Except your sister.
My sister. So, yeah. What are you grateful for today? Oh, that's a good one.
You first.
Oh, it's going to sound cheesy. I'm grateful we have today. I'm grateful for everything that we have. We are really blessed to have this channel, have wonderful people out there that want to watch us and keep this going. We are so grateful for you. I'm grateful that we're all safe, we're healthy. Yeah, I know it's kind of probably cheesy, but that's what I'm grateful for.
I'm all the same. I'm grateful to get to do what I love for a living. Was not always that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, all those things.
Are you independently wealthy, or do you support yourselves with YouTube?
Let's answer that first.
Okay. No. We
are independently wealthy.
We are so not independently wealthy, but we are really good at making it work.
It's different looking in, because you're looking at us as, average people who have a 9-to-5 job out there, and then have all of these expenses with the house, but then all these other things that we're doing outside. But if you think about what people spend when they own their own business, that's what this channel is. And so all of the things we're doing outside the house, those are all business related. And so you look at it a different way. I mean, there's business investments that you have to, put in an investment to get something back. And so we're definitely not independently wealthy, but we make it work. And
there's perks to working at home. You don't have to do commutes with lots of gas.
Childcare.
Yeah, there's trade-offs. Another personal question. Did you consciously decide to have one child? None of this is any of my business, but you said nothing was off limits. It's true. We wanted more children. Just gonna say it. We wanted more children, and unfortunately, it just was not meant to be. So we are very lucky that we have Noah. He is amazing. But no, we wanted him to have siblings.
Yeah. We tried for a while. We looked into options, including adoption, and we'll probably talk about this on a future video because I'm sure it would help other people who are going through this. But as of right now, all these years later and looking back, we're grateful to have Noah.
Of course.
And, maybe it was the right thing for us to only have him. Lots of things in life, it worked out well that we just had him. So we don't know any other reality. And we're very happy with him. So
yeah, still wish sometimes that we had more.
Yeah, we're too old now.
Yeah. All right, Brian, my question for you. If money wasn't an issue, nor climate or location, what would be your dream plant vegetable to grow on your property?
That's pretty easy. Plant or vegetable? I've got a plant and a fruit. I think it's a fruit. The plant would be heliconia. It doesn't stay warm enough here in the winter. I know people look at us who are in the snow right now and think we can grow anything we want, but no. Heliconia, you need really a tropical climate. I think probably zone 11. And then the other one, same reason, coconut palms. We don't stay warm enough here in the winter for those, and I would love to. Not only the look of them, they're my favorite palm tree, but you get coconut also. How about you? I know yours.
What's mine?
It doesn't get cold enough here for this one.
Oh, yes. Peonies.
Yeah, she loves peonies.
Love peonies.
Can't do them. They don't have a variety for our climate. So.
Yeah. So I only get them when Trader Joe's has them in stock. Other than running and overseeing the homestead, is Emilie employed? No, this is my job.
She does all the behind the scenes work that you guys don't see. She helps me with comments. She does all of the packing and shipping for our tomato hooks. Yeah. So,
and I oversee
and
Noah with sports and all
and
that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the behind the scenes person. Is Noah happy that you guys move? How was his transition? He was awesome. He did so well moving.
Picked up friends immediately.
Yeah. His cousins went to the same school, so they helped him out a little bit. But Noah just has this personality where he just puts himself out there and he's able to make friends. Both Brian and I are so introverted. I don't know how it happened, but I'm so grateful that it happened. Noah is the outgoing personality of making friends and playing sports, and he's in student government. Like he's just always out there. It's awesome. So yeah, he did really well.
He's doing way better here than he did where we used to live.
Yeah. Have you considered hiring a helping hand with some of your larger products? I wish you would. Projects.
I'm cheap, which you might not think so after a thatched roof, but I like to do things when I can do them, and then hire things that I can't do, like cutting down big trees or pumping our septic system or fixing the plumbing in the walls. So that might change as we move along, and I've got even more things to take care of. But for now, I'm good, and I like to do them. I love building stuff, and I could hire it done, but that would take some of the fun away from me.
I've tried to get him to hire different things done, but honestly, Brian is so he wants it done a certain way that it makes it to where he wants to do it himself.
That is my weakness. I am very type A when it comes to things like that.
Have you painted Emilie or Noah's portraits?
I've never really painted a person. I painted cartoon characters, but I am more landscape and so can I show some of my art? Yeah. Sure. I do a lot of Disney. Which someday I would love to be a Disney fine artist, but I've got a ways to go. I don't produce enough. I'm way too slow. I do a lot of ocean and tropical, go figure. And so those are the two things that I really love. You can't sell Disney unless you're licensed by Disney. I can sell tropicals. I have sold tropicals, but I'm very slow. I've got to really kind of figure out how to go faster with paintings if I ever want to, do something. I thought of starting an art education channel. I thought of starting a painting channel back like around the same time I started this channel. So, you never know what's going to come in the future, but that's where we are right now.
Do people recognize you in public now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
It's funny when there's large groups of people. So we've been recognized at Disneyland. We went on a quick cruise Thanksgiving for Emilie's father's birthday, and there was somebody on the ship that knew who we were. Garden centers,
Home Depot, places like that.
Places like that. It's not all the time, and so I wonder, do people recognize us and not say anything? Because I wouldn't go up to somebody I didn't know. But please, if you see us, we're happy to say hi.
We're happy to say hi.
We don't get to meet people except like this, and this is weird. So say hello if you see us.
Unless we're arguing. I'm just kidding. Do you plan on planting something this year that you have never grown before?
A lot of trees. This is the year of the trees.
Year for the trees. I know you have many projects you're working on, also planned, like myself. Do you ever get burned out? And if so, what do you do?
I think I've got too many different things in the fire at one time to get burnt out, because if I get burnt out on one thing, I just go over and the wall has been this ongoing process for 2 years, building all these walls. That's got me burnt out a little bit. But when I get the initiative to do it, then I realize that I actually enjoy it and it's fast and I'm good at it now. So it can go along quickly.
You don't necessarily get burned out. You just start so many projects that sometimes it takes a really long time to get back to the first one. Yeah. Because then you get excited about whatever the next new thing is.
That's the ADHD. I when things get boring, I move on. And sometimes it takes a long time to go back, like the cottage. I just got the door on, you saw. But some of the thatch isn't finished, and the bottom still has to be covered in. So yeah, I'll get there.
Were you raised by gardeners, or did you learn everything on your own? Do you have a degree?
Don't have it. Well, I have a degree, illustration and graphic design, but not for gardening. No, my parents didn't garden. In fact, my dad is the only generation of our family on his side going back, I don't know how long, till this country was born. Most likely we were here in the 1600s. So they were farmers as far back as his parents, and all the way back were farmers. So now here I'm it skipped him, and I'm kind of picking up that mantle now. I'm moving along forward. But no, my parents weren't gardeners.
Question: how did you go about finding your dream location? Well, we kind of said, we looked around.
We knew an area. And it was difficult because we lived 3 hours away. So our realtor, who was great, and my sister would go together, and they would, do screen time, and we would FaceTime, and they would show us kind of things, and we could pretty much tell pretty quickly if it was something that we wanted to come down for. I think we came down maybe 4 times. 3 or
4 times, and we'd stay for a couple of days and try to cram in as much as we could. This one kept popping up on my feed. When I was looking at stuff, I was pretty vigilant about being on websites.
But I was honed into 2 acres. I didn't want to look at anything under 2 acres. So that's why I didn't look at this one, because it was 1.5 acres. But when I came here, you fell in love with these windows right here.
The windows, yeah. The view is just amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And it was not the first house we put an offer on was completely flat, 2 acres. This one, as you know, it's all hills, all in different directions, which to me now ended up making it more interesting. It's more of a challenge, and if I didn't have Bill, we would have had to now move to a flat place, but fortunately, he's been amazing.
Yes.
So it all worked out.
What is the one thing you won't eat?
Oh, there's a lot of things I won't eat.
Yeah, you're very picky.
It depends on health reasons or because I just don't like the taste of it. There's a lot of things I don't eat for health reasons that I would love to eat.
You don't like fish?
I don't like fish. There's some fish that's very mild that I can eat.
Yeah, you used to only do fish if it was fried.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm not necessarily picky. I mean, I like fish and stuff like that. I can't do a lot of spicy stuff. I have an issue with spicy things for some reason. I like spicy stuff, but I can't do a lot of major spice.
I'm not adventurous. Like, I know organs are good for you to eat. I know our ancestors all ate organs. It's very difficult for me to eat brain. And like, my friend used to take us to taco trucks and he would get like tongue. I tried it. It tasted like dog food to me, or what I imagine dog food tastes like. But my family was never adventurous when it came to eating. We always ate kind of the same thing, and so I'm not very adventurous either.
I know mine.
What?
That I will never, ever, ever eat for my whole life.
What?
Cauliflower mac and cheese.
We were doing keto a few years ago, and it was delicious. But then her and Noah got sick and were throwing it up, and so they won't ever let me make
Not
it
on
again.
the mac and cheese. We both ended up with the flu at the same time
Yeah.
that we were eating the cauliflower mac and cheese. So that is just one thing that as soon as you say it, we can smell it, and both Noah and I were like, so yeah, never gonna have that one. What is your favorite thing you eat out of the garden?
I like berries, blackberries, strawberries. I don't think you can get all fruits, really. Peaches. A peach off of your tree that's ripe, it's not even the same as a peach in the store.
Right.
Strawberries, warmed by the sun. Those are my favorite things.
Yeah, tomatoes. I love a good tomato.
Yellow tomato.
Yeah, yellow tomato, and then zucchini, obviously. We can never grow enough zucchini. Aw, as an ex-skipper, I have to ask, what is your favorite Jungle Cruise joke? I like the good old,
I like a lot of the
don't take it for
traditional
granted.
ones, backside of water. I do love, though, to get on the Jungle Cruise and have somebody who is really full of a bunch of new jokes that I've never heard of before. That always makes me happy.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we always have to ride the Jungle Cruise whenever we go there, because you just want to see what new stuff they might say. What is your biggest gardening challenge? How concerned are you about our ability to garden being infringed on?
Biggest garden challenge? I take challenges in stride pretty much. I think my biggest gardening challenge is my own feeling that it needs to be done right now, and I want to just enjoy it. There's so much stuff here to do, to create all this, and I just want to be enjoying it, finished. But then I also know that I enjoy working on it. So it's like, it's a big argument in my head.
Probably it would be nice to know that there's a few completed things, so that way you could just enjoy the upkeep and maintenance
like
of
nothing
it.
here is completed 100%. So as far as the Garden Defiantly episode and how concerned I am about our ability to garden being infringed on, I mean, nothing surprises me anymore, but I think it would be more of an infringement, like they're not going to pass a law that you can't garden, but I think they're going to make it where it's not something people want to do in whatever way. There's so many convenience foods out there, and you can just go to the store and get your bland zucchinis and tomatoes plastic wrapped and ready for you. I do think there's a backlash on that. I think that, but if people have to move to smaller and smaller places because there's just no money for anything, then they're going to have less room to grow stuff. So I don't think it's going to be a law that's passed. I just think it's going to be harder to come by the availability of gardening for people.
Will you write another book? Yes.
I want to. My publisher, they contacted me last year and said, am I ready? And I'm not. I mean, I really don't want to do a book that's just a basic gardening book. I feel like every YouTuber has done that. And so it would have to be something that's unique and that I have a passion for, because it's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work. The answer is yes. I'll just have to find the right time and the right subject.
When are you going to finish that seascape painting that we saw on your patio one time in a video? Will you show us when it's done?
It's still out there, but my painting time is definitely not.
Tell them how long you've been working on it.
Yeah, that one I've been working on since Noah was 3, and he's 15 now. But, you know, up until I had the channel, I was working my business all the time. And then when I get the channel, the only time I really have to paint is in the summertime when it's too dang hot outside to do anything. You know, right now, I mean, it's raining, but those are little sporadic days. Yeah. For the most part, I got to get as much work as I can done on the months that it's not hot outside. So I'll check back in with you this summer.
Well, you can only do it when there's little pockets of time.
Yeah.
So that's why it takes so long.
But I did get a new easel, and usually it's set up right here in this window so that I can, whenever there's a split second, I can come over here. It's all set up and ready. That was the problem, is I didn't have a space to keep it set up, and so.
Yeah, I like it when you paint. We both
That's
leaned in.
small.
I need my glasses.
This right here.
Oh, okay. I'd like some insight into your workout routine that you started when you realized you had an aneurysm and started to really take care of yourself.
Well, I mean, when I got the aneurysm, that's when things changed for me. I was 45, so I started walking several miles a day. I started resistance training, which I try to do 5 days a week. Here I've got I don't need to walk anymore because I've got plenty of exercise around the property, going up and down. So I just make sure that I have something like that daily.
I've noticed that you seem to eat a low carb or keto lifestyle. Maybe you could expand on what you eat and how it fits into what you grow for food.
Well, I can see how it looks like that. And we do eat lower carb, the right carbs. I did keto. We've tried everything. Yeah. I've done everything. Keto, carnivore, almost vegetarian, traditional Mediterranean. So we've done a lot of stuff. I believe that the change. Hi.
Aw, hi. You say hi?
Hi. You guys don't get to see Boomer very often. He's camera shy.
Say hi. You want to look out the window? Because he's short. He can't look out the window. Yeah. Hi. You say hi.
So what really changed, let me run and get it. Okay, so this is the book that changed everything for me, Nourishing Traditions. Not sponsored. All my life I had questioned different diets, and I wondered why there was so much disease now when there wasn't 100 years ago. And this actually started my journey. My nutrition journey started way before my aneurysm. But when I found out about ancestral eating, that's what we do. That book tells everything you need to know. It's basically eating the way depending on what generation you are, our great-great-grandparents, anyone who was born before 1900, how we all ate, or how they all ate, no matter what culture you were in. And I'll probably do a video on this because I've gotten lots of questions over the last couple of years about it. And it just kind of goes hand in hand with gardening and raising your own food. It's all about how you prepare it. So it's a really interesting thing. It makes a lot of sense, and it has drastically changed my health. I mean, I was told when that aneurysm was diagnosed that it would never get better. I would most likely have to have surgery. It's better. I mean, if you guys have been following along, you know it's almost completely healed. So something's working.
I know you have used a broad hat and long sleeve gardening shirt before. When you're not covered in cloth, do you use sunscreen every time you go out or just get a little winter tan?
I never use sunscreen. There's plenty of evidence out there, if you look for it, that sunscreen can actually do more harm than good. I'll probably do a video on this too, because I get beat up all the time for when I'm not wearing a hat or when I'm not wearing, long sleeves. I control the amount of time I spend in the sun. I think sunlight, I know sunlight, because there's plenty of evidence that sunlight is good for you. It's how we've lived. I mean, that's what I thought of this years and years ago before I ever learned anything. I'm like, how did all these people live for all these generations before sunscreen, skin cancer was almost unknown before, I don't know, I could be wrong on the dates, but like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and now it is so prevalent. So I believe the sun is good for you. I believe that things we eat, like seed oils, our body does not know how to process seed oils. It stores it in our fat, and it oxidizes under our skin, and that's why we get sun damage and brown spots and skin cancers. You know, like everything, you have to follow the money. You have to know where your scientific studies are coming from and who's paying for them. But again, if you guys are interested, I'd be happy to do videos on this.
Oh, I love this. When you removed the fence to the new part of your property, you mentioned remember Adam and showed a clip of a stream. Who is Adam and what happened?
Let's just show it right here.
Oh my gosh. Adam. It's kind of haunted me ever since. Thank you. Oh, that's so sad. Okay. Well,
it's a very, I thought, pretty popular, well-known short, or whatever they call those little short snippet videos on Instagram. It's just a funny joke. I don't know the person, don't know who Adam is.
Adam went off to live a very happy life in the pond and has a great family right now. Where did you learn your construction skills? Can you suggest a beginner's construction book?
You just
kind of do it.
I just did it.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. It would
It's
never
a
win an
chicken coop, not a
award.
house.
If any construction professional came over, they would be like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I just do the best I can, and I do learn as I go. I did build the chicken coop at the last house, the gazebo at the last house.
What are your favorite or not aspects of living in San Diego County? What do you miss or not where you used to live?
Well, we actually just got back from where we used to live.
Yeah, we went to go visit my sister. It's different.
I miss it less and less each time we go back.
There's things that I miss about it, like everything's close by. So
We're very spread out here,
yeah.
and we're outside of town, so you don't just take a 2-minute drive to the store to pick up milk, which is what I did when we were at her sister's house. I had to run to the store, forgot something, and it was like 2 minutes away, and I was back in less than 10 minutes. So that I miss.
But I'm really happy here. I really like it here. It's just a different environment. It's a different the people just seem different too. It's probably going to sound bad, but they're friendlier here.
At least the circles that we were involved in
Weren't friendly.
No.
Yeah, it was really hard to make friends where we came from. The people were snobby. They were so snooty.
We fit in better here.
We fit in really well here. It's just everyone's different. Oh. If you could invite one person to the channel, living or dead, whom would it be and why? That's deep. You first.
Well, it would be the mentor I had growing up, my sister's piano teacher, Jean Wolgamuth. I dedicated my book to her because if it weren't for her, who fostered my love and passion for all of this, there probably would be no channel. So she would be the first one. And then I think the second one would be my grandparents, because the house we came from, that we lived in, was their house. And so my family, my dad, my aunt, they always said it would be so amazing if they were here to see what you had done to their backyard. And now picking up the mantle of farming, where my dad skipped a generation, I think they would be amazed just to see we have a cow. So, they were homesteading before it was popular. They were homesteading as a way of life. They didn't call it homesteading. They called it living and surviving. I always hear stories about when the Great Depression happened. They didn't even know there was a Great Depression. Like they were self-sufficient. They didn't depend on the government or the stock market or whatever to live. It was just how they lived, and they sailed through the Great Depression like nothing. So those would be my three.
Hi, Kelly. Do you think you will ever travel for this show? Where do you think she'd want us to go? Like maybe go to a different zone to help others out. I know you have a fan base in Central Texas. Emilie and Noah could come too. Gee, thanks. Take the show on the road.
Let's say who Kelly is.
All right, so Kelly is she's an amazing friend.
One of the only non-snooty people that we became friends with where we used to live.
And then she had the nerve to move
to Texas.
Miss you, Kelly. So
hi, Tony. You too.
We would love to. We would love to. In fact, we've been trying to talk about when we can make it work. How do your motivations for gardening compare to what they were when you first started gardening?
Well, when I first started gardening, it was all about competition, fun, creating beautiful spaces. When we moved here, in fact, I think the very first video on this channel was something I took from Next Level Gardening. It was a video I did there when we were down here and we were just visiting. It was the first time we were down here, and I said that I had a dream of making themed gardens. And I had this dream since 1996 when I went to Epcot Center at Disney World. We were in the World Showcase, and they had gardens in all these different places, landscaping, and I thought that would be so cool. Mm-hmm. So that was my goal moving here, which we're doing. Yeah. But I think over the last few years, as I've seen the political, social climate, the broken food system, it really became more about creating a space that we could retreat to, which we've talked about recently, but also
a sanctuary. I like that one better.
But also to produce our own food as much as we can. So that's how it's changed. It hasn't changed, it's kind of morphed. It's expanded.
What, in your experience, has been the biggest game changer for the home gardener in the past 20 plus years?
Honestly, YouTube. I mean, where else could you get all of this information? I mean, there weren't that many books out there. And years ago, Home and Garden TV, HGTV, just became HTV. There's like no gardening stuff on there. So YouTube, for me at least, it was the biggest changer. I mean, before I had a channel, I got to learn so much. I got to see shows, Britain has all these gardening shows that America doesn't have, and I could get them on YouTube. So YouTube is the biggest game changer in my opinion.
What is the one thing you wish you had but don't on this homestead?
More land and probably running water, like a stream or something that was always flowing fresh water. We will have access to water once we drill a well, so that could remedy that. More land.
Can I say I would rather have a sewer system than septic, as it's raining outside again?
Yeah, that has been an issue lately.
Ugh. What do you recommend for people with knee pain or knee and hip pain for gardening? And what's your favorite thing to grow?
I mean, ultimately, diet for me has been a game changer when it comes to inflammatory issues. And I had to get epidurals in my back for horrible back pain. And they really didn't work that much. And I had awful back pain, knee pain, every joint in my body when I was, 5 years ago. I felt like I was 80 years old. But changing my diet, that's been the biggest thing. I don't know about...
I would say for an immediate help would be like if you're gardening outside to do something more raised, I guess, to try to alleviate the pain. That would help. And then your favorite thing to grow?
Tropical plants. Gotta say it. I mean, that's still I don't know. There's just something about them that I love.
The tomato king.
I know. The tomato king loves to grow tropical plants. Well, tomatoes grow in South America.
Have you ever considered leaving California to find a bigger homestead? Yes.
Yes and no.
Not yet.
We are here mainly, I'm spoiled by the weather. We've lived here our whole lives, and you cannot beat the weather. And as a gardener, that is a big deal.
We're not opposed.
We're not opposed to it. We're also here for family. Our whole family's here.
Yeah, that's why I say not yet. We're not opposed to leaving California, but I just don't see it in our immediate future. And again, I'm going to hear from Kelly saying, oh, Texas?
Probably not. I've seen you guys in the summertime. And the springtime.
Yeah, big
and
bugs.
the fall.
Have you always been interested in beautifying things above and beyond? For instance, the cottage garden. I've seen some outlandish designs for chicken coops. Yes. Brian doesn't do anything normal. You are always about the... You do things to the extreme. But that's what I love about you, is that you just, well, for the most part. You like to do, how can I make this bigger and better?
Well, not just bigger and better, but to create an environment that you can be immersed in. I want to, when I'm standing in the front yard, I want to feel like I'm in England. When I'm standing over here in the Mediterranean garden, I want to feel like I'm in Italy or south of France. When I'm standing in the tropical garden, I want it to be where I can go out there and feel like I'm in Hawaii and not have to spend thousands of dollars to go. So it's not even about creating beauty, even though it is, but it's about creating immersive experiences for me and now for you.
Mm-hmm. My 26-year-old daughter has anxiety much like yours, Brian. We appreciate your openness and your struggles. It really does help to know you're not alone. I do have a question. Have you had anxiety since childhood, or did it show when you got older?
I thought it said, have you had anxiety since Emilie? I skipped the line. Yep, that's when it started.
No. We both have anxiety.
Yeah.
So
I think my depression, the first time I can remember depression was I was about 20, and it was like a seasonal depression because it was really bad one summer, and then like for a few following summers, whenever the light would get just about right in the afternoon, it would trigger it again. Mm-hmm. Anxiety, I don't think started until I was married and on our own, and then we had to deal with money issues struggles. And infertility and all the things that I never had to deal with as a kid.
Emilie, I think you're amazing. Thank you. I love the videos, but I'm pretty sure Brian, anyone really wouldn't be able to do without the support of an awesome partner. I decided to start a garden last year because I stumbled across some of your videos. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Let me put that in there.
It's true. I couldn't do it without her. I couldn't. And some people ask what her job is. We have already talked about the things that she does, but the support and the love that she gives is worth everything.
Aww, you're so sweet. Aww.
Last question.
Oh, let's see. Do you ever get frustrated that your spouse doesn't love gardening as much as you do and much of it by yourself? So you follow up the question of how wonderful I am with...
Can I give my answer? I don't get frustrated, mainly because I get to do anything I want. If she was equal partnerships in the garden, she would have her opinions, and then I would have to, cave to them sometimes. I don't have to do that. She trusts me.
The flip side is that he has full reign to do what he wants because I just trust that it's going to be okay. There are a few times where I've gone, but yeah, for the most part, he gets to...
When I started pouring black cement over our backyard at the old house, making lava rocks, she did not see the vision there.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
But you see the vision now.
I do. So he has full reign, and he's happy. He's in his element. So I do go outside. First of all, I make sure that he's okay. I bring you water, snacks, and stuff. And I'll spend some time out there with him.
But I've got Bella now, so I have a constant companion.
Yeah, honestly, he doesn't need me anymore. But he's in his element, so I find myself just kind of on my own because he's happy doing his thing and he's focusing on that. So even if we were gardening together, it's not like we would really be...
Yeah, it's my Zen time.
Yeah.
I focus on what I'm doing. It's kind of meditative for me. But ultimately, she does everything else. And number one is she supported me moving away from family and moving down here to start a whole new life and a whole new direction on a farm, something I never thought she would be into.
I thought I'd be a farm girl.
But yeah, it's all because of you.
It's all because of me.
I mean, I can only do this because of you.
Aww.
And you.
Yes, definitely you.
So that's it. That's the questions. I think we covered pretty much everything. I know there was a lot of duplicate questions, so if you didn't get yours specifically answered, hopefully you got it answered.
Yeah. And we'll probably do it again. So be thinking about more questions. We'll do it again.
And what do you guys think about live streams? I haven't done too many. I think I've done 2 on the other channel and a really quick impromptu one on this channel a couple of years ago. I don't know that we would be committing to regular live streams, at least like weekly or monthly, but I don't know. What do you think about that? It's
anxiety.
Yeah. Right. This is fine because I can edit out anything that we say.
All the times that I look away, say something stupid, we can edit. You can't edit live.
Yeah. All right. Anything we need to? The Garden Defiantly shirts and sweatshirts and whatever else we stuck it on.
Yeah.
We should be getting the samples here in the mail tomorrow.
Yay.
So we can try them, make sure they're good.
I'll make sure they're good.
I'll probably show them to you on the next video.
Okay.
So anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.